We got a Socomom Super SUV, which might be better than Lambo we tested.
Lambo.
Oh, sorry, RSQ8.
They're pretty much the same car in it. And this is a GLE 63S, and in this video we'll talk you to the interior, exterior, cool features and annoying features, and take you for a drive. Okay, let's talk about the exterior. Starting with the most obvious sign that it's an AMG, it's the AMG grille, which is quite massive. And this Mercedes symbol has to be the biggest one I've seen.
Because this is an E-Class, you do get a double daytime running element, which is quite beautiful.
Moving on, the front bumper is quite massive and it has the AMG blobfish design, as we like to call it, and the air vents on both sides are functional. And overall, the front does look amazing and aggressive.
Moving on to the side, you do get these flared wheel arches over here, which just make the vehicle look a bit meaner from the side.
You get 22-inch AMG wheels, which are quite beautiful. Most AMGs do get that. You get red brake calipers, which are massive, and even the brake discs, they are quite large.
You get a weird bi-turbo 4MATIC Plus badge over here. You get a stepping board over here, which is a bit useless.
I mean, look, didn't really need that sideboard. Anyway, you can get this as a SUV, or you can get it as a coupe, which is still a photo, but trust me, get this, it looks better.
So here at the back, there's not much going on. You do get two badgings, AMG and a GLE 63S here. You get sort of a spoiler over there, and that's about it.
And moving down further below, this rear bumper comes all the way up to my hip.
Quite tall for a tall vehicle.
Yeah, and you also get a diffuser. It's plastic. You can also get it as a carbon fiber one, but there's not much to diffuse. I mean, this is a big car.
Yeah.
And you also get a quad exhaust. Overall, I think the car is beautiful. What do you think?
It is beautiful. I would give it an exterior wise. From the back, I would give it an 8.
Yeah, from the back, you would give it an 8. Anyway, I think I prefer the RSQ8 rear over this. And this is the most expensive car we've had on the channel, by the way.
So if you have even more expensive vehicles, hit us up.
Okay, let's talk about engine price and specs of the GLE 63S.
So this vehicle has a 4-litre V8 bi-turbo engine, which produces 612 horsepower, and it produces 850 newton-meters of torque.
Yep. And not only that, it also gets an EQ boost small electric motor, which puts out an additional 20 horsepower, like 600 wasn't enough.
Nah, it wasn't. It drives via a 9-speed torque converter gearbox, and it sits on an air suspension.
And yes, so competition wise, you get the Lamborghini RS, you get the X5M.
You get the RSQ8, which you tested.
Yep, I love the RSQ8. And pricing wise, brand new, this will cost you about $300,000, but
it's a bit higher than the RSQ8, but lower than the RS.
Yeah, pretty expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty expensive.
Next is the RS, by the way. Okay, let's talk about the interior of this car. Starting with the steering wheel, you get this beautiful AMG steering wheel, which is a flat bottom. And this is Alcantara. It feels quite nice. Even the paddle shifters feel very high quality. Moving on, the instrumental cluster, it is fully digital and it is very, very simple to use. All of the controls are on the steering wheel. Now, you get a panoramic sunroof, which is kind of massive in this car. I mean, look at this. It takes a few seconds to close. It's coming from all the way there. Waiting. Sometime today, come on. And there we go. Now seating, you get these AMG seats, which are heated and ventilated. Not only that, you also get a massaging function. Now if you move over here, you can see that you get different modes to select from. I mean, look at all of this. What do I want? Hot back? No, it's too hot today. A classic massage. Nice. And tech wise, you pretty much get everything that is there in the Mercedes lineup. Moving on to here, this is a bit of a special thing. Now this is where you get your air suspension control, which is where you get your driving suspension control. You can select between comfort, sport and sport plus. This is for your exhaust, and this over here is very, very handy because it gives you a place to lay your hand on. And overall, this interior is pretty beautiful. Now you also get 64 different ambient lighting colors to choose from, which is too much.
So now at the back, you do get quite a bit of leg space. You get ample head space, and one cool feature, you can adjust the back seats from here. That's quite cool. And the center seat over here, you can pull it all down, act as armrest. You get a Mercedes powered tab over here. You get all the charging over here. You get more storage over here, and that's quite cool. I'm not seeing this in a vehicle yet until this moment.
Okay, the interior was pretty cool. Now let's double down on that and talk about the cool features. So this car gets an active engine mount, which means movement in the engine bay is pretty minimal, which means handling is a bit better. This car is loaded with luxury. Not only does it get massaging seats which are heated and cooled, if you look at these cup holders, they have a feature where it's cooled and heated too. I mean, wow, that's just excellent. Another cool feature is that this car gets an AMG track pace, which means you can record your drag race times, your lap times, and you also get a bunch of cool gimmicks which are very useful on a track, but they're not very useful on everyday use unless you drive this car like it's meant to be driven. This is a crowd favorite, so you get your drive mode selector here and the AMG dynamic settings over here on the steering wheel itself. That's something I love about AMGs. So not only is this car very powerful, it can also be used as a workhorse, so you can tow up to 3.5 tons, which makes this car the perfect work car.
Not everything's cool about this vehicle, so now let's talk about the annoying features. Wow, that's slow. That's one. Second one, this vehicle being an AMG, this does not get launch control. Like, this is a big vehicle and visibility is key. So, unlike in normal vehicles where visibility is sort of okay, this peeler gets in the way a bit more than usual. Not only that, this vehicle has a rev limiter which maxes out at 4000 RPM. Like, despite this saying it's AMG, it's fake.
Okay, let's go for a drive in the GLE 63S. Starting with the suspension, we're currently on sports mode and it's not too soft nor is it too hard. It's kind of perfect. Like it's the perfect amount of stiffness. And insulation, as in sound insulation, there's not much sound coming in here, which is quite fantastic.
There is very little noise that's coming.
You can hear the exhaust, which sounds...
I mean, you can hear the pops and bangs, but that's
oh yeah. This car pops and bangs. For a car of this size, it bangs with bangs. Oh my god, what am I even saying? It pops and bangs, and it is fantastic. Now this car is one that will put a smile on your face. And acceleration, that's not bad. Pretty quick. The throttle response is very accurate on this car, despite this being a 4-litre V8, which also has a twin turbo. Acceleration is pretty damn quick. And the gearbox, this is not a multi-class transmission. We are currently 6th gear, 5th, 4th, 3rd. There is a bit of a delay, unfortunately, because this is a tow converter. And overall driving, it's pretty fun. One of the best cars we've driven. Final thoughts of the GLE 63S. Kevin, you want to start?
Yes, so exterior wise, I would have to say that it is nice. It is not overly done. I do prefer the rear of the RSQ8 over this, but the front, I would still prefer the RSQ8, but it is nice. It's not overly done. What about you, Dinak?
Exterior wise, I prefer the front of this car. I love the rear of the RSQ8. Interior, nothing can beat Mercedes interior. I'm an Audi fan, but nothing can beat.
Now the interior is beautiful. Like, it's so comfortable, and like compared to a lot of the vehicles we have had on the channel, we can say for sure that Mercedes trumps any car manufacturers with their interior. So
yes. And driving wise, I do prefer this over the RSQ8 because this is more raw power compared to the RSQ8. Like when I drove the RSQ8, it was like, cool, I can go faster, but then in this, you just scared for your life. Which is very similar to the C63S that we tested.
Yes, it's not because like compared to the C63S because it is rear-wheel drive and we were scared that we were going to end up on a tree. But it's just because this vehicle is massive and it's so much powerful than any other vehicle we've had on the channel, and it just feels like you're driving a massive truck.
Yes, but overall, I think I prefer this over the RSQ8 because, don't get me wrong, I love the RSQ8, but then more enjoyment, this is the car to go for.
Yeah.
So that's where I will leave this video.
Yeah. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you, boys.